Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
Every time we get together with her, it's just fascinating because astrology is a science and there are answers to what you're wondering about, what the questions are in your life. Why do you feel a certain way today, but maybe not in 3 days from right now? She is a psychological astrologer, which makes her radically different. She uses the planets and her own and ours, to kind of help you figure things out. Carmen Turner Schott is back with us. Welcome. How are you?
I'm good, Steve. Thanks for having me. And it's been a busy time, and I can't believe we're in November. I mean,
yeah,
it just flew by. You know, so much has happened in the past couple months in the world and everything. And on November 13th, if everybody listening kind of looks back, think about how you were feeling that day. It was what we call a new moon in Scorpio, and everybody was talking about how powerful it was because the sun is also in the star constellation Scorpio in the sky, and Scorpio is the sign of power, intense change, death, rebirth, transformation. It forces you to let go of the past and get out of your rut and make changes. And I had so many people emailing me, I've been so burned out and I just feel I'm done and I'm ready to get a new job. I'm ready to end this relationship. I'm ready to do upside, their lives turned upside down. Really, the energy just forced them to finally be brave enough, really, that bravery to, I'm not doing this anymore, and it was that powerful double whammy of that Scorpio energy that really helped people move forward. And I myself, that healing energy, it affected me as well. I had some answers. I had a very vivid dream on the new moon and it was very telling and about my future, my work and stuff. And I'm like, oh man, there's change coming. So I'm curious how you're feeling on the 13th, on the 12th, 13th, 14th.
Hang on, because I am going to grab my phone here and I want to look back and see what day the 13th was. I have to visually see it on a calendar.
I think it was Monday.
Monday.
Monday. Yeah.
It was kind of a weird day. Yeah, I feel it. And I had a dream. Tuesday or maybe Wednesday. And the dream was, I have two dreams.
Oh, wow.
And I never remember them. And I think they were separate days. But the first one was I saw a road and a hill and ice on the hill and trouble getting up the hill. I never remember my dreams. The second dream I had was I dropped my phone like a kitchen table down on the floor and picked it up and it was all shattered and I couldn't see what I needed to see at that moment. But then I realized it wasn't my phone. It was somebody else's phone. And it was my friend Dave, who I grew up with. He's, and 5 states away. I haven't seen him in a couple of years. I believe it was his phone.
Well, that's a sign.
And I was freaking out that I couldn't see on my phone. Like, what am I going to do now? I got problems. Yeah, but it wasn't my phone. Yeah. So I don't know what I mean, but it was this week.
That those dreams, a lot of people that normally don't remember dreams, my husband and daughter both told me too. It was that Scorpio new moon. It was a time where people were dreaming and it was signs. Whatever you dream this week, the beginning of this week on the 13th, 14th, 15th, even through this weekend, you got to pay attention to it. So I would say I've had a phone dream like that myself where it was shattered and I dropped or I was missing my phone. I kept looking for it the whole dream. And to me, it's communication. So he may be tapping out to you, thinking of you, or maybe there's something going on in his life and you're intuitive, you're empathic and you're picking up on it. And he may need someone to talk to.
I was thinking the same exact thing. And just because we're talking about this week, I had another realization. And I don't know what it means. I'm going to share it because it's, weird things come up. Maybe people can relate to it. I think I shared with you over the summer, late summer, that I was vibing my mom, just like thinking about her. Send me a message, Mom. It's been a while. She does. And they're specific.
Yeah.
Her message came in the form of the password on my new modem right down there.
Oh, wow.
It
Oh, yeah.
was 4 digits dash her name dash 2 digits. And I've
Wow.
been trying to figure out what the numbers mean because I know they mean
Okay.
something.
Yeah, what are the numbers? Let me see.
5382 and then dash her name dash 52. But here's the thing. When I start playing with the numbers, they
Yeah.
all come back to the number 7 or can possibly be maybe 11. It always
Yeah,
works that way. So I sat on that for a while and I spoke to a psychic friend of mine a couple of months ago too. And
yeah.
she's like, yeah, I'm getting 11-7. 11-7,
11/7.
11-7. So I'm like,
Wow.
then I think about it. 11-7 is my best friend's birthday, was
Oh
just
my
passed. But
gosh.
then I will look back at a calendar. 11-7 is the first day I started on radio
No
at the
way.
big station. I was at a small station when I was 17. And
Wow.
then when I just turned 18, I started at this one station. I was there for 30 years, 26.
That's amazing.
Um, and then there's more. So I tell my daughter, she's 15, she says to me, you ever think about your dad? Maybe and he passed many years ago. I was like,
Sure.
I didn't even think of that. He was
Oh,
born on 7/11.
no way.
He
That
passed,
same numbers.
he passed in 83, 8, 9,
Wow.
10, 11. He was born on 3/4,
Wow.
and the year that he was born adds up to 7.
See that? I love that. They call those
I don't
angel,
because I can't figure it out. It's freaking me out.
it's like
Like, I don't want
angel numbers. It's like, numbers are connected to astrology as well. The numerology has energy, and messages. And sometimes it's just spiritual messages. They're trying to maybe get you to remember they're with you. It's just a sign, that they're with.
Yes. Yes. So the person that told me the 7/11 or the 11/7,
Yeah.
I connected with her earlier this week. Maybe it was on the 13th. No, yeah, maybe it was.
The moon.
Um,
The moon.
and she said it's your mom and dad just trying to tell you that they finally got back together and
Oh,
they're watching you.
oh,
And
that's
they're
cool.
aware of the stuff that you got going on and
Yeah.
they're plugged in. So where I'm trying to figure out what it means, it doesn't really mean anything more than that.
Yeah, it's how they get. It's a sign to you that they're still on the spirit realm. And it kind of reminds me when my grandmother passed away, the day it happened. I was very close with her, but she had Alzheimer's, so she didn't really know who anyone was for quite a while. And she came to me in my dream and told me she loved me, and I was her favorite grandchild, all this stuff. And I woke up and I knew something was going to happen. And my mother called and she had passed away. And the weird thing was, I kept thinking, why don't I feel her presence? Because, I have all these things happen, but then I'm like, it's my grandma, I want to feel her presence. And I just couldn't feel that she was around me or anything. And I thought, well, I don't know. And so I was getting ready to pack to go to the funeral. And something kept telling me to grab this sweater out of my closet. And it was black and royal blue, and I hadn't worn it in years. And it was like a kind of fancy sweater. And I thought, and something kept telling me, get the sweater, the blue and black sweater, the blue and black sweater. And I guess it was I thought it was my inner voice. No, it was my grandma, because I got that sweater and I threw it in the bag with my black dress. I thought, I'm just going to wear the black dress, but I'm going to put the sweater in there. And I'm driving home. My mother's like, well, what are you wearing to the funeral? I said, well, I don't know what it is, but something kept telling me, get this blue and black sweater out. She goes, is it royal blue? I'm like, well, yeah. She goes, pull the car over, take a picture. I can't believe this. I said, what? She goes, I just went out to JCPenney and I bought a sweater for her to wear in the casket. I know this is really deep stuff here. And we matched. We had the exact sweater. No one would believe it. It was royal blue and black. I matched my grandmother at the funeral, and I spoke at the funeral. We had the same sweater on. I can't even make this up. And I hadn't
Wow.
worn that sweater in years. So to me, that was her sign to me, even though I didn't really feel her around me, and I didn't see her. I didn't, and once in a while she'll come in my dreams, but it's very rare. You know what I mean? But those are messages they
And
get.
it was the same, like literal, not just color, but literally the same sweater.
Oh yeah, when I had never felt so eerie in my life. I mean, it was
I'm getting you. I've chills. The hair is
my
standing up on my
mother
arm.
knew when I told her royal blue and black. My mother told me to pull over, and I was driving from Ohio at the time to Missouri, and I took a picture of it and sent to her. She gasped. She said, "You're not gonna believe this." She started crying. This is the same sweater she showed me. And everyone at the funeral saw that they probably thought I meant I purposely matched her. Like I didn't go telling everybody what happened, but my
Right.
mother knew.
And you
And
know what? Even if you purposely matched her, God bless. That's fantastic.
I know, right? But I
Well,
really
maybe she wanted
did it.
that. Maybe she wanted
She
that.
she wanted me, and it was crazy because my mother said royal blue and black were her favorite colors, and I did not know that. I did not know that. And I had had that sweater forever, and I thought, I don't even wear that, but it was that voice. So I always tell people, trust yourself. Like if something's nagging you, and that's that intuition that people have. I remember in college, I was sitting on, I had this boyfriend at the time that came over, and I hadn't seen him. He left my dorm and I didn't see him for 6 months. And we had this karmic thing my whole life with this person. Anyway, long story short, 6 months go by, I'm sitting on the couch in my dorm watching TV, and something keeps telling me, look under the couch, look under the couch. I thought, I'm not gonna look at the couch. You kind of tell yourself, no, I'm not gonna get up and look. And then it kept bothering me so bad, like this feeling to get up and look at. I look under there, and there's a wallet under my couch. I didn't even know. And in my dorm, and I pull it out, it was his wallet. So I had to try to find him because I hadn't heard from him so long and hunt him down. And he said he thought he lost it in the airport. Well, then we reconnected again. So it was like all these signs, don't ignore yourself. If something tells you to go somewhere or don't do something, I always tell people, trust your that's your inner voice. That's your soul, speaking to you.
I totally agree. And you can't ignore it. And
Yeah.
there's some times where I'm feeling stuff even recently, and I just know what it is. I know the answer. And there's things that are blocking it, like my brain. I'm like, it won't, I can't get it out of the way. I'm trying to push it out. I'm trying to like swim past this thing in the water, and I can't move it out of the way because it's like your intuition is staring you in the face.
Yes. I think sometimes people are afraid to trust their intuition. I know I used to be like, I doubt myself, and I think that's why I like astrology so much, because it's a science and it's so practical, but I tap into my intuition while I'm doing a chart for someone. And then I share what I feel intuitively. And it kind of is a tool instead of me just sitting in front of someone telling them, doing a reading or doing just channeling or something. I use the chart to tap in and use those intuitive abilities, calm psychic abilities, whatever. I do have them, but I don't always trust them. But if it's astrology and I'm using the chart, I'm confident and I'm 1% sure that it's accurate because
You
it's
have a
in.
basis for what you're
Yes,
feeling. You have
yes,
something to back it up, whereby
yes,
I could say anything, the sweater that you're wearing,
yes,
you're going to walk out of this room, somebody's going to be wearing it. Well, no, but if there's something to back that up, there's
yes.
the reason behind it. So now you talk about this new moon in Scorpio.
Oh yeah, it was
Um,
intense.
and then, we definitely need to get to the retrograde coming.
Oh yeah, that's coming in December, guys. Next month we're gonna have that.
And doesn't it,
We're
don't we
gonna be
start?
affected. 1st of December, we're gonna start being affected. So we really, if you think about it, my gosh, in a couple weeks is 1 December, 2 Fridays from now.
Carmen, what?
I know I hate Mercury retrograde.
So it just seems that from the last retrograde, so call it August,
Yeah.
to now, there was other multiple planet retrogrades going on.
Yeah.
It just seems that the second half of this year has been like crazy town. Is it me? Like, and I don't mean it's me personally experiencing it, although I have, but I mean, what I'm seeing or hearing from you along the way here, is this unusual in normal worlds?
Yes, this time in history, we have major astrological events that don't typically occur at the same time like this. So
That's what I mean.
it's a very special time. And somebody, an astrologer I know, he kind of mentioned, he said, I like how they say this, is that these are the astrology can show you the patterns and the energy that's influencing us. And whether you believe it or not, this energy is influencing you. And so, we give tips, there's change there. You're going to feel a little irritated, restless. You're going to feel blocked. There might be endings of relationships, or, there could be conflict, so we use astrology so we can help ourselves and others understand what we're feeling, what we're thinking, what's going on, and why we're feeling the way we are. I mean, because a lot of people, they may feel really bad, and they may be down or depressed, but they don't really know why. And so they'll read, they don't have this tool. And so once, you have different tools, whether it's, energy healing, or if but to me, it's astrology, because to me, I use this. Oh, okay. Let me see what's transiting your houses. Let me see what's going on right now for you. And they're like, they start to cry. How did you know that? Because it's science. This is energy. It's affecting all of us, but everyone reacts in a different way, based on our personality. Some people, they just push through, like Aries, they just keep going, and they don't, but other signs, they get emotional, and they need order and structure. And so this shakes their world up a lot more than some signs, right? And a lady she just asked me the other day, she said, what is going on? Someone texted me out of the blue that never texts me. She goes, I'm so burned out. I'm afraid I'm going to get fired because I'm just speaking my mind all the time. What is going on? And I'm like, hey, it's Scorpio. And, it's this double Scorpio energy. And everyone's feeling very intense. And I felt this way, like deep, intense,
Yeah.
like raw, like a little bit vulnerable, and I'm feeling like something's going to happen, or I'm feeling a little bit cautious about being around people, and I just want to be alone. And it's because it is an intense time, guys. This whole Scorpio is an intense sign, and the sun is there. It's affecting all of us. And it was funny because the moon cycles, I told you, the moon changes every 2 to 3 days. And I've been feeling in a funk. Like, I haven't been motivated. I was supposed to get these 2 book proposals done, and I had all this stuff. And I'm just like, I just can't do it. I was totally burned out, like blah. And all of a sudden I started getting energized this week. And I said, what is going on? I'm up till midnight with ideas, and I'm typing, and I look, well, the moon went into Sagittarius, the optimist, the free spirit, adventurer, happy energy, light energy. And now the sun is getting ready to go into Sagittarius on November 22nd, which is next Wednesday, the day before Thanksgiving. And that sun, when it moves into Sagittarius, guys, all of us are going to feel a weight lifted off from this heavy, dark, taboo Scorpio energy that has been messing with our lives.
So give me that date again.
November 22nd, we're going to start feeling better.
Until
the end of December, because we're going to be in Sagittarius season. Sagittarius. So Sagittarius is the optimist of the zodiac. They are the one that always sees the glass half full, not half empty. Okay, where Scorpio sees things as half empty and, dark and gloom. This is deep and mysterious energy. Sag is like, let's have fun. Let's go on a trip. Let's travel.
Question here. We briefly mentioned the next retrograde popping up. Even with that retrograde, you're saying that it will feel lighter.
Yeah, we're going to feel lighter even with Mercury retrograde, because the sun is such a powerful placement that affects us right now. When the sun moves into different signs, it affects all of us. So that Sag energy is going to help us be more positive during this next Mercury retrograde.
So my best friend is a Sagittarius, and he takes it. Nothing bothers him. It's always very lighthearted. Yeah.
They're amazing. I always know when someone's a Sag, because they're just so happy-go-lucky, and they're always really cool to talk to, because they're very intelligent and they're smart, but they're also
I wouldn't say he's that smart. No,
okay. But they have this way of making you feel understood and listen, but they're also kind of blunt and straightforward and honest and direct about how they feel, but they do it in a kind way. I have so many, every time I click with somebody, I'm like, you've got to be a Sagittarius. And they are. And I'm like, I love it, because you're so cool to talk to, but you're so happy, and you always see the bright side. They're like, things could be worse. You got a paycheck, you still got a job, at least you got a check coming in and can pay your bill. They always see the positive.
So in a few words, how would you describe a Scorpio?
Oh, man. Oh, that's a hard one.
You have 2 sentences.
Okay.
Go.
Okay. secretive, and does not trust anyone.
Okay, the ones I know, I will go with secretive. The
Mhm.
trust thing, they're more open about the trust.
Yeah.
I feel definitely there's a secretive side there, gotta say.
Private, secretive. And the thing about them is they may be, no, they may take a risk and let you in. But if you ask them, and they'll tell me this, they'll say, I really don't ever fully trust anyone. This is what a lot of them tell me. Like, there's always that little voice in them that someone could betray me, someone could hurt me, because that's their sign. They're ruled by Pluto. It's such a deep, like, honest psychological energy. Like, life, death, birth, sexuality, they rule all those things, intimacy, right? And so they love very deeply, and they're very loyal. But they don't like to share their inner self and secrets, because they're always got that fear it might be used against them, or they might be hurt. And and if someone leaves them, or they don't want to, they're always kind of waiting for something not bad to happen, but they always are very, let me say this, realistic.
Okay.
They're
I'll go
like,
with that.
yeah,
Yes.
realistic, very, very straightforward, realistic about things. Like, it's hard to fool them, because they're very psychic. They're very
Really?
perceptive.
Okay.
Yeah, they're perceptive people. They now, female and male Scorpios, I find, are different. Okay. Female Scorpios are fitting more of probably the traits I'm talking about. Now, I haven't met a ton of male Scorpios, but the ones I've known they don't really feel like Scorpio. They're a little bit more open, or not so scared of getting
Yes.
hurt. I
Yep.
think it has to do with that as well.
I agree.
Yeah.
I totally agree. The ones that I'm thinking of. So question,
Yeah.
if we were still dealing with a Scorpio situation that's going to end in just a few days,
Yes.
and we had the traditional Mercury retrograde kicking in,
Yeah.
would it be, I know I'm not being negative here, I'm just learning, would it be a cluster blank? Like, it would be like, oh, I can't.
Oh yeah, people would be exploding, because the communication is completely blocked. And what it would do is, because the emotions are so intense and raw, people are going to be really having a lot more miscommunication and a lot more blow ups, because during Mercury retrograde, people argue, they bicker, they don't understand each other, and they take things personal. So if it was during the Scorpio season, yeah, it would be pretty intense. And so we're lucky, guys, that it's during Sagittarius season, and it makes it a little bit easier, right, on us, because we have that optimistic, carefree energy that's influencing us right now, and it's going to last for a whole month, till the end of December, till we go into Capricorn. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So in the time we have, well, we have like a minute or so and change.
Okay.
What do we need to know about?
Okay.
What else?
So big thing is, if you think about it, it's pretty cool that Thanksgiving is during Sagittarius season, because Sagittariuses are always the sign of gratitude. So they always think about what they're grateful for, appreciating what they have. That's kind of a Sag thing. And they're good at helping other people, point out to other people if they're negative or in a bad spot. Hey, but look at the good things you got going on, right? And so this is a good time to have gratitude, and to focus on the positive things that you have in your life, not the things you lack, not the things that are going wrong, and not the things where you're struggling. But start thinking about, okay, what's going right in my life? And then being thankful for it during this season. And that's kind of why it's cool that Thanksgiving is in Sag season, because it totally fits the energy, right? And so I'm going to do that. I'm going to make a list of, 10 things I'm thankful for. And I do that sometimes. And I even if I don't have them, I write down things that I want, and I read it as if I have those things. It's a little exercise I learned in metaphysics school.
Well, that's manifestation, is it not?
Yeah. Yeah. It's that law of manifestation, and believing and knowing and trusting the universe, and like The Secret, right? You believe it, you read it, you put it out there, and you just gotta see the bright side. And I'm feeling this, I'm already feeling better already, that we're getting ready to get out of Scorpio season. Just knowing it's coming, I'm feeling lighthearted right now. It's like I'm ready.
Something to look forward to, which is me. Always need something to look forward to. So the date, you said the 20th, we're done?
22nd.
22nd.
Yeah,
Okay.
and that'll be Wednesday. And we're going to be
I-
feeling really good because the moon is in Aries that day. It's going to be, we're going to feel active. We're going to want to be on the move, doing things,
I
getting
have a
things done.
big meeting coming up Monday.
Oh, okay. Let's see what's going on Monday. Yeah, Monday, the moon is in Aries on Monday, so just be a little careful with being a little too blunt or straightforward about things. Be a little patient and be careful what you say. And make sure you don't just, say something that you might regret. That because
And
Aries makes you blunt. Yeah.
and it
Emotionally.
and going back to the signs for my mom, she's an
Yeah.
Aries, and maybe that'll support me in this meeting.
Yeah.
And this particular meeting, I could get a little verbal,
Mhm.
so I'll
Yeah.
take your advice right there and just sit back and let the universe do its
Be
thing.
patient. Be patient and just think before you speak. Think it through and maybe plan, what do I want to say at the meeting before you have the meeting, because you'll know the moon is in Aries and you'll know that your emotions are going to be quick to come up and quick to respond to other people's comments and things. So it's like you got to be a little cautious.
This
Yeah.
is why you're amazing at what you do, and from the psychological standpoint, and this is why people need to call upon you, read your books, and all of this, because it's those little nuggets. Like, thank you for that. And
You're welcome.
everything you just said, you're right. I'm. That's what could happen at this particular meeting.
Yes.
And again, I find it just weird that you mentioned the moon is in Aries.
Yeah, it'll be in Aries Monday. Yep. Yep.
Final question. It's a personal one there regarding that. Is that relate to Aries? Like, that is my mom's sign, but is that is it the coincidence or no?
I think the whatever let me say this, her Aries energy is on your side. Because when the moon, whenever there's the moon in Aries or Aries sun, the sun's in Aries, you'll be able to probably connect with your mother in some way, in a deeper way. Maybe she'll come in a dream. Maybe you'll be able to meditate and feel her presence more. It'll be intensified for you, Steve. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah.
I'll work on that.
Yeah.
That's super cool. That is cool stuff.
Yeah.
Your website is simply your name, Carmen Turner Schott, Schott spelled SCHOTT.com, right?
Yes. Thank you.
And the books are there. You're amazing. There's nobody that does what you do. And I've met other astrologers. You make it so real, practical, relatable. And I do think that the psychological aspect and your intuitiveness come into play. There are other great astrologers. They can do a chart. They can read a chart. You're different. Radically.
I appreciate that. I try to make it practical and basic so everyone can understand it, because astrology is complex. And a lot of people are like, I don't even know what this is. This is like a different language.
Yeah.
I'm like, you don't need to know, because I'll explain it and I'll make it all make sense. And that's my passion. And so I love it. I love to make it simple.
I love having you on, and I can't wait till the 22nd.
Yes, me too. Hey, it's going to be a great Thanksgiving. We're going to feel so much better than we've been feeling.
Good times ahead.
Yes, good times ahead.
Yeah, especially when noisy Aunt Carol shows up at the table on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, right.
It'll be better this time.
I know.
Have a great holiday. We'll catch up next time. Okay.
Yes, you too. Thanks, Steve.
Thank you. We'll be right back.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.